All right, today is an awesome episode. We have a very, very interesting person with a lot of background in the things that you've done in your life. Welcome, Mrs. Hollie Fowler.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I'm super stoked to be talking about anything you want to talk about. I'm an open book today, so.
Awesome.
Today is going to be very, very fun. So tell us, who is Hollie?
Hollie is a very, she's a little complicated. Grew up in Scotland, born and raised, was into music, classical music to be exact, sang professionally from the age of 7, and moved to Italy, stayed in Italy for about 2.5 years, traveled the whole of Europe, just singing around, doing productions there, opera, concerts, all of that sort of stuff. And then I had 6 months in between work, and my parents used to have a vacation home on Long Island. So I scooted on over here and kind of chilled out there. I had a vocal coach in Westchester, up in New York, and I go there 3 times a week. And honestly, I didn't know anyone my age. So I went on the good old Match.com and set up some dates for one weekend. And my first date is my now husband of 11 years, and I haven't left.
Hey, Match.com works.
It
is
does.
What you're saying.
It does. You know, I put in exactly what I wanted, and here I am. I have a dream person and a partner for life and my best friend. So super, super cool. They did have to be 6'6" and above, though. I just come from Italy, where every male was probably below my kneecaps. Oh. So not really my jam, you know, not really my jam. So I came over here. I've been in real estate and retail management. I kind of moved away from music because you got to do a lot of traveling for that. And really Europe is the mecca for classical and opera singing. And I had, again, found my best friend, so I wasn't going to go back. And bought a Jeep Wrangler in 2017. Had no idea about off-roading. I was a very prissy girl. You know, penciled skirts, my hair done, my nails done every week. Dirt, never. Hats, God, I don't think so. I'm not that person. And now look at me. The dirtier I am, the happier I am. I want to be outside. I want to be on the rocks. I've changed a little bit. Yeah, a lot of people back home don't even recognize who I am. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, just getting into rock crawling. Watched YouTube. I said I would never do anything like that. That looks madness, crazy, too chaotic for me. You could possibly die. No, I'm good. Yeah. But I went to an off-road class up in upstate New York, and because I say try everything once, you can never say I don't like something if you've never tried it. I'm just not that person. And I fell in love, started wheeling every weekend, and the rest is history. I got bit by the bug real hard, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you say, like, that's quite a transformation.
For sure, yes. Very different lifestyles. And yeah, it's just, I think going from a 9-to-5 job and then coming into this full time, like you guys know, you're working 24/7 when you're trying to build a brand, when you're, when you're doing something like that. But if you love it and you have that passion, it's not really a job. You're waking up and you get to do something you love every single day, which is very lucky for the few of us that actually get to do that.
So what actually made you decide to do the YouTube thing? Like you started doing rock crawling, and how, that's kind of 2 questions. How often were you rock crawling in the beginning? Was it something like you said that you caught the bug? Was it something you just did every week? How often were you doing it in the very beginning?
So I was off-roading almost every single weekend, and it took us 5 hours to get to the closest off-road park because we don't have BLM land over in New York. It's all private property. So we would head over to Rausch Creek in Pennsylvania every weekend, and it was literally every weekend that we went there, and it was just awesome. Every weekend I learned something new. Then I decided, well, now I need bigger tires, now I need skid plate, now I need, and then it just kind of spiraled a little out of control. But in 2019 we decided to sell our house and relocate. So we gave ourselves 6 months to relocate somewhere else, and we were on the road for 4.5 years, just meeting up with people. And that's when the YouTube channel started. It was in 2019. And I honestly started it so that my family could see where we were and what we were doing. That was really why I started it. I didn't come into it having a plan, you know, weekly episodes or anything like that. It's like, if we did something cool, I would try and film it and then just pop it up. So my friends and family at home could see kind of what I was doing.
That's really interesting because YouTube, I mean, we all know now YouTube is all about the storytelling and everything else. And so where you were doing this as a vlog for family members, as just people that were close to you, do you think that might be part of the reason why your channel's taken off?
I think so, because I never, like I said before, I didn't come into it with, you know, an idea or a scheduled plan. It was more just like, I was talking to the camera like I was talking to my family and friends.
Yeah.
So it's like very personal. So I feel like from the get-go, everyone's kind of seen who I really am. Because when people see me or meet me in real life, they're like, oh, you are like you are on TV. Or you're like a little dorky and you just kind of, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's me. I'm not here to, I'm here to entertain people now that the channel has evolved. But I'm still just me, just doing my thing.
Right. Well, and that's just it. When you watch your videos in the beginning, it's just you feel like family.
Yeah. I
mean, I feel like family when I'm watching your videos, which is just, it's cool, and it's very inviting, and it's just you got a really great vibe on your channel.
Well, I appreciate that, because sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, that's so cringy. I'm just gonna keep that in anyway. I sing a lot when I work, like a lot, like. Not proper songs, not songs that anyone. I make my own stuff up and I sing it, you know. I'm using the bass to take, you know, and I keep that stuff in because it is who I am, you know.
Yeah.
And
that's awesome.
I think it's a little more relatable when you are yourself, and yeah, it's just kind of cool.
Yeah. So YouTube obviously has become a huge thing for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of people are starting YouTube channels. What would you say was your biggest challenge in, like, you went from, you know, doing this kind of vlog style thing for your family? What was the challenge when you're like, hey, this is something that can actually turn into maybe a business?
Yeah.
Was that shift difficult? What were some of those challenges like?
Honestly, the biggest challenge, and still to this day, is storytelling. I feel like I don't quite have that down. And it's so much easier when you have a story in mind to tell. But with collaborating with a lot of people, especially around here, they're great storytellers, and they're now friends, which is awesome. And just learning from them, you know, every time I go and hang out at their garage or their shop, or go out on recoveries with them, or just hang out in general, it's you can learn a lot from everyone. And I would also say YouTube, since 2019, the biggest thing the past couple of years is just trying to get everyone to collaborate with one another. I know a lot of the YouTube channels here in Utah are very good at doing that, but out with, everyone's been in the mindset of, you know, this is my channel, these are my viewers, and I'm like, listen, if we all just collaborate, like some of your people will come here, some of my people will go there, like we can all help each other grow. And it's been really awesome the past couple of years, because a lot of us have done a lot of collaborations, like Flex Rocks Rollovers, Off-Road and Chill, Chuck and Mason. You know, it's been really, really good.
That's awesome. It brings like more of an interesting aspect to your channel, and invites their viewers to be introduced to you. And so
absolutely. And there's room for everyone. Like, we all bring something different to the table, you know, so it's really cool.
Not very many opera singers, you know, rock crawling. So
that's kind of weird. Someone said to me the other day, they were like, you went from opera to off-road, O to O. That should be cool. A t-shirt. I'm like, O to O.
That's okay,
like, all right, I like that.
That's awesome. One of my favorite mantras, speaking of that, is seat time before everything. And it's self-explanatory, right? But there's a lot of, I think, underlying aspects to that. What do you think? And I mean, it makes sense, you know, putting putting yourself in your rig, getting the practice, doing the rock crawling. Is there any other aspects or meanings that are, I guess, more special to Hollie that you want to share?
Honestly, that's just the number one, and that's kind of what I live by. It doesn't just go to rock crawling or off-road or anything like that. It's for everything in life, you know?
Yep.
The more time you put in, the better you're going to get at it.
Yeah.
And every day is a learning curve. You're going to learn something every day. No one's perfect. No one knows everything about everything, but, you know, we can strive to learn and have as much knowledge about everything as possible. But seat time is really the thing. Because a lot of people do ask, you know, like, how do you, you know, have no fear? Or how do you do that? And I'm like, well, you're behind me and you just did the same thing. And they're like, yeah, but, you know, we got stuck. And I'm like, yeah, but I literally am driving this vehicle every day if I can for like a couple of hours. That's the seat time, you know? And also traveling the country, 26 states I've traveled to so far rock crawling, and it's just putting that time in.
Well, it kind of reminds me of another the mantra that's used in the music industry as well too. What is it, 1,000 hours or 10,000 hours of practice?
Yep.
And so, and because if you're going to be an opera singer, if you're going to perform in front of people, it takes practice.
It does. We don't just open our mouths and sound amazing or perfect to other people at all. It's a lot. Now, when I was singing, it was the same thing. I was up at 6 a.m. I was in college at 8, and I wasn't out there until 9, 10 o'clock. And in booths, you know, language classes and so many vocal lessons and techniques and posture classes, and it's a lot of hard work.
Well, I mean, you show that character of really diving into and really honing your craft, and would you say that comes from the practice of becoming a musician as well as refining the Jeep and turning it into your instrument?
Yeah, absolutely. I never thought about it that way. That's a really good way. Wow, Alan. Wow. No, absolutely. I think if I didn't have a background of having to have the discipline to do something, this would have probably just been a weekend enthusiast thing, and I wouldn't have really honed in on it.
I was reading a couple nights ago that I don't know if it was when you took the week class, off-roading class, but you mentioned something that the first time you went, I don't know if you were the only woman that was there, but you said that there was a bunch of 50, 60-year-old guys. I think that you had said, was that intimidating all to you, or was it just a different?
Or move over, boys.
Yeah, or was it like, I'm going to show you? Like, what was that like?
Well, so my personality has definitely grown with this, being off-road and kind of doing all the rock crawling. So back in 2017, I think it was the end of 2017, I took that class, which was incredible. I loved it. I drove over like literally a pebble this size and freaked out. Am I on it yet? Am I on it yet? I'm like, am I on it? You know, and it's that was fantastic. But the time you read about is the first time I went to Rice Creek Off-Road Park in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
I signed up on their website just to like, you can put your groups up on there. Oh, we're going to run this if you want to come along. Cool. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I arrive in my shiny, brand new looking blue Jeep with my hair did, and I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm nervous because I've never done that before. So I'm like, I'm so excited. I feel like I'm going to throw up, all that good stuff. I go down, I air my tires down. By the way, I haven't aired my tires down in like 2 years now, but I air my tires down. And the group of guys that I signed up with, they looked me up and down. They gave me a paper map. And they said, if you can't keep up, find your way out. And I was like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. I don't want to be here anymore. Let's go to the Mexican just to have some food and chill out. Because I don't like this vibe. And it was super snowy and icy, so that didn't help. You know, the terrain was super kind of slidey. You were sliding all over the place. And believe it or not, in Pennsylvania, there are a ton of trees. So sliding into trees off the side of mountains and stuff, it it's pretty crazy out there sometimes. And yeah, I kept up with them. I was very quiet. They kind of made me not feel very welcome, obviously. And there was one obstacle that they all bypassed. And I said, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. You can't do it. We didn't do it. You can't do it. And I was like, okay. The window went up and I was like, I'm just going to go for it. What's the worst that could happen? I could break my stuff here. And at that time, I didn't trailer anything. So I had driven it 5 hours to the park. And I had to drive it back home. So not really knowing the catastrophe that could have happened, I just went for it and I got over it. And all of a sudden, like that, it was, oh, you're okay. Yeah, you're cool.
And
all right.
did they know that was your first time?
Yes.
So they knew that.
So they knew it.
Your rig, what did your rig look like at that point?
It was, I think it was on 30, it was virtually nothing done. 37s or 30, it could have been 35s, I think. I can't even remember. I had like angry eyes on there. And that was pretty much about it. I hadn't really done
the first
anything.
most important mod every Jeeper should do, right? Yeah.
Angry eyes.
Always.
Yeah.
So you probably gained a lot of respect from those guys right off the bat,
I
right?
did. They were so excited to, have me part of their group from then on. Oh, are you coming next weekend? We're going to be doing this. I'm like, all right, okay, that's cool. And yeah, I didn't see a lot of females out at that time. I was the only female on that ride. But what's interesting since then, I love the fact, I don't really hone in on the whole, female thing, because I'm a huge believer of when you're behind the wheel, the car doesn't know who you are, what you are. So just be a good driver, get that seat time in, and that's what it's all about. But the fact that there's visibly a lot more females coming into the industry, or they've been here, they've been doing this for years, but now they're, the confidence is up to kind of, air that out is fantastic. And we have some really badass people out there. Like you guys think I'm bad? You should meet some of these people. They are crazy good.
So, Hollie, we were in your shop last night.
Yes.
A lot of cool, crazy things going on in there.
Tell
us about what you're doing, what you're preparing for, all that stuff.
All right. Well, I've been in the shop space now for a year, and right now we are finishing up some electrical stuff on my 4500 Ultra 4 car. Built in under 60 days last year, almost killed everyone involved. But here we are. We're good this year. No, so we're heading to King of the Hammers, which is like the world's toughest off-road race. It is madness out there. Johnson Valley is super rugged, terrifying, but also one of the best places I love to go wheeling anyway. So.
And you need to wire up this rig. Today is Friday.
Yeah.
And you're leaving when?
We're leaving Monday.
Okay.
We're leaving in a couple of days.
You got this.
It'll be running tonight, so it's all good. I'm not worried about it. It was running before, but we just decided to clean up some of that wiring and do some really cool stuff in the car. Like the center console took me 3 days to cut out that aluminum, and then I wrapped it in the tartan as well. So it's coming together really nicely. Like I loved her before because she was so rugged. So many sharp edges in there. Tetanus is what you're going to get from her if you sit in her and you don't know where
update
those
your
sharp
shots.
edges are.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's really coming together nicely. So we've got that coming up. We'll be there 2 weeks before the race. We'll do a lot of pre-running, shop tuning, stuff like that. And it's just another bow to the arrow. You know what I mean? It's just another thing that I decided that I wanted to get into, because off-road is so broad, right?
Yeah.
And rock crawling, I feel like I've kind of got that down, always improving every time I go out, but I kind of wanted like a faster vehicle and never gone fast before. And the first 53 miles of that race last year was the first time I had been fast in a vehicle. So
for those who don't know, how long of a race is it? How long were you in the seat last year?
I was in the seat last year, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. My first time driving that vehicle was crossing the start line. I had no idea I had to switch it on as well, because the night before they had switched all of the inside, all of the interior, because I jumped in the morning, you gotta go, and I'm like, I don't know how to switch this thing on, okay?
Wow.
You switched everything in here. I literally don't know how to turn it on. Turned it on, and then it just went for it. White knuckles. Woo.
Well, there's what I find inspiring about you and your channel is that you've reinvented yourself, number one, but you also don't give up. You don't stop. You're relentless. You had a pretty big accident last year.
Yeah, so I broke my back on June 22nd last year in a side-by-side, very freak accident whilst filming. And it put me out of everything until probably November. I'm lucky because I work for myself. So in order to heal and recover quicker, I just did absolutely nothing. I didn't want any surgery. I was kind of borderline on maybe getting surgery. I didn't want any of that. So I literally did what the doctor told me, and it said, do absolutely nothing. Don't lift anything. Don't walk for the first 3 weeks if you don't have to. You just stay. So I feel like it's been a quick and good recovery, and I'm lucky to actually still be here and be able to do what I do, because 2 guys had the same thing happen to them on the same day. They'll never walk again. So I count my blessings every day, and but you got to get back on the horse. It's terrifying. I'm not going to lie. The first time I got in Nessie again, which is the 4500 car, I was super nervous, but now I can't wait to get in and get stuck in and get going again. So, and I get to work in the garage again, which was a big thing. I couldn't even lift a power tool. So, and now I'm working 8+ hours in the shop again, and it's super cool. But it's just about not giving up, and it's mind over matter, right? It's all in your mind. Your body will heal, which is crazy. That I couldn't do anything I can do everything again now. So, yeah, you just gotta keep your mind in a positive place, which is a hard thing to do, especially when you're on the go all the time, and then you're not doing anything.
To hit the brakes that fast, that hard.
Oh yeah, just stopping completely. And of course, I went from posting 3 times a week on YouTube to nothing for a couple of months. That's a hard hit. And that's, a lot of people would get there and be like, well, everything's gone down. I don't want to build it up again. It's so much work. Or you just say, you know what? I'll get back there again. It's going to take some time. Let's have at it. So,
what advice would you give to an individual looking to get into off-roading, or even YouTube? What's something that you would say would help people out there watching?
So YouTube-wise, if you want to get into YouTube, consistency. I'm not even good at that. Consistency is the key. If you want to start, post every week. Just post something every week. Don't give up. Don't look at the views. Don't look at anything like that. And the expectation that people have these days, especially with having, social media platforms. Well, I have thousands of followers on this platform, that platform. Why do I only have 120 views on YouTube? It's a completely different platform. It's a completely different audience. Not a lot of those platforms kind of intertwine. That's why they're individual, and that's why they're all there, Just keep at it. If you want to do something enough, you'll just keep at it. And it's not easy. Nothing in life that's worth it is easy. It really isn't. I feel like sometimes giving up, but then you just like, all right, come on, just keep going. It'll be fine. Just keep going. And there'll be like a month where you'll get, over 1,000 views. And when you start seeing that, and it just, it gets better and better and better and evolves, then you get the bug and you keep going. And then it's just a part of life. Like filming for YouTube for me now is like brushing my teeth in the morning. I don't really think about it. I love it. And some videos are hits and some videos really are not. And by the way, the ones that you think that you love and you're excited about, always do the worst. Always. The videos that you're like, oh, I hate this one, and you put it up, always do the best. So
I hope this video does really, really good because I've been looking forward to this one. So I hope it goes crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys.
I hope we can have you again because I think we could probably talk to you for hours and
hours and hours.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And so we'll have to have you back if that's something that.
Oh, absolutely.
That
You're
you'd
kidding
like to
me?
do.
Next time I'll
Love
bring
that.
a flask of tea. We could go for a good couple of hours.
Sounds good. We'll do that.
Well, we thank you, Hollie. This has been incredible, and we so much appreciate you coming to our new show. So
Yeah, well, thank you
so
guys
much.
so much. I'm excited for you, and I can't wait to watch everything else that's going to go on with you guys.
Yeah, well, we've got some rigs that we're working on, so we're gonna have to go wheeling. I got to get some more seat time.
Okay.
I've got a track record I got to try and recover from. So this is fun. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
For the viewers out there, Hollie, tell them where they can find you and all your channels.
All right. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Mischief Maker JKU, and then, of course, YouTube, Mischief Maker TV.
Awesome.